Both 80% kickers, and they also have a third kicker on the field, Sam Franklin, who can also put the ball through the posts. So as we're now, I believe, officially live, let's go through the rosters one last time. Those of you watching at home, this might be the first time you're hearing them, but here in the booth, we've read them off 3 times. So the roster for Capilano, number 1, Neil Courtney. Number 2, James Ritzema. 3, Jesse Ryan. 4, Reed Tucker. 5, Liam Dahl. 6, Corey Hamill. 7, Jordan Harvey. 8, Glenn McKinnon. 9, Chris Robinson. 10, Jeremy Simon. 11, Sam Franklin. 12, Mike Maloney, who's their danger man. Aaron, what can you tell us about Mike? You spent a lot of time with him here in the fall as part of the Vancouver Rugby Union.
Yeah, I really like Mike. He's a quiet guy, doesn't get flustered. I think he enjoys the pressure and seems to come through, especially when the ball's on the tee. But yeah, he doesn't really seem to let too many things get to him. He's a solid character and a really nice guy.
Excellent. Number 13 is Eli Pappen. Number 14, Howard Malundi. And number 15, Johnny Adams.
So we've kind of had a back and forth game so far. Burnaby with the pressure on at the moment. If you didn't know, Burnaby did win the coin toss today and elected to play towards the clubhouse in the first half. Okay. I don't know, is that local knowledge? Is there something we should read into that?
It is not. They usually don't play on this field at all, actually, due to some beetle infestation in our main Premier field. All games today were relegated to the 3rd Division field, which has a pipeline going in next to it for those of you guys who are able to see the action. The Burnaby lineup, by the way, is the Leet Bardwaj, Dylan Vermette, and Nick Hildebrand in the front row. Number 4, Cooper Johnston. 5, Mike Goff. 6, Fukovic Lani. 7, James Catterson. 8, David Dinbandu. 9, Lee Sandberg. 10, Ethan Turner. 11, Ko Odaka. 12, Captain Neil McLean. 13, Sean McCown. 14, Jack Gelbart. And 15, Brian Fitzpatrick. Both lineups really competitive. I mean, it's been a back-and-forth battle here. Standout players are players to watch for Burnaby Lake. We're looking for Nick Hildebrand, longtime Burnaby Lake player since he was a young man. He's been spent the last season with Houston Sabercats in the MLR, but has returned to British Columbia and his old club. And number 12, Neil McLean, who had a great run a few minutes ago, which those of you watching at home may or may not have been able to see. But this is his first game at home as the captain of the Burnaby Lake Premier Men. He's from Omagh in Northern Ireland. And is a great rugby player. He's been with the club for about 6 or 7 years, and had his first game as a captain last week against Oak Bay, which unfortunately didn't result in a win, but a good solid outing, and he's always a solid performer out there.
Yeah, Coach Aaron O'Flaherty to be a little bit disappointed with the turnover there. Burnaby have been down this end of the field a couple of times. Looks like they're going to get the ball back here. Yeah, interesting game so far, Mike. We've had Caps held up over the line. Burnaby receiving a goal line dropout, which Jeremy Simon shanked the return drop goal attempt. And we've had Burnaby knock the ball on twice over the line and then scored the 3rd attempt with good pressure inside the 22. So great set piece platform here. We've had a pretty balanced scrum so far. So I think we might see a backline attack off this one.
Yes, well, a few knock-ons and drop balls in the end zone. You know, they don't want to make it easy, you know. They don't want anybody's charity when getting a win. They want to make it hard.
So Ethan Turner setting up behind the scrum here. Quite interesting. Oh, it's Cap's ball. I thought we were going back for a knock-on from Neil Courtney.
I think they went to the first knock-on, which was in the centers, I believe, Jack Gelbart. Caps win their own scrum. Goes to Maloney, who kicks the ball deep. That's a nice kick.
He struck that one
out of bounds. We'll see the Capilano line out here. We'll see if for many, many years they had Glenn McKinnon as their primary line-out jumper. We'll see if that's still the case now.
Yeah, look for Capilano to compete at this line-out. The line-out is definitely a strength at the club. The maul went well against the Pride. They don't seem to be staying on the ground. They're looking to get up and compete. They do so again there through...
ball stolen there by James Catterson.
Liam Dahl in the second row.
Apologies. Good contest there at the ruck from Capilano. Sandberg taking his time getting the ball out of there. Gives it to Vicolani, who gets knocked back and knocks the ball on. The
Caps will be happy with getting the ball back here at halfway. Now, We do have the ball inside the attacking half, so if the ball goes back, Mike Maloney does love a 50-22, but they would be carrying the ball back into their own half. So maybe it's on, maybe it's not. We'll see here. Maybe he'll just put it along the ground looking for corners. If I was a betting man, that's what my money's on.
Now, that last Burnaby Lake play where they take forever to get the ball out and then pop it to one guy running by himself, did you teach him that last Tuesday?
No, that wasn't me.
No, that wasn't you? Okay,
it's
I'll
another
talk
guy
to
that
someone
looks
else
like
about that. Not a great play. Good matchup on the side of the scrum closest to us with Nick Hildebrand at number 3 and Neil Courtney, Capilano's longtime prop at number 1. He's a graduate of UBC and captained the VRU Coastal Cup winning team in the fall. Fitzpatrick's clearing kick. One of the Capilano players, looks like Sam Franklin, got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds inside the Burnaby Lake 22.
So, Mike, I got the strategy right there. I thought they would kick to the corner. I thought it would go along the ground, but I got the personnel wrong. That was Chris Robinson off his right foot off the base of the scrum. Good return for Caps here, getting the ball back just inside the 22 by the looks of it.
Yeah, Chris Robinson, a crafty veteran for Capilano. If he sees any type of hole, he'll take it himself. He'll go for it, whether ball in hand or kicking it. He's pretty smart rugby player out there. Another block kick. This one picked up by Glenn McKinnon, who gets brought down close to 5. Well, it looks like a penalty for Burnaby Lake. Well, they're lucky if they can get the ball out of here. I suppose with the penalty, Capilano can't run up and knock it down. So they'll be able to get the ball out this time, hopefully.
So, Mike, we got Brad Schwalger out here in the middle today, fresh off running the line at the Toronto Arrows game in Langford last night.
Yes, I saw.
Was he wearing all of his kit or just some of it?
That's a great question. I don't really know. All of it, I suppose. All of it.
Brad's sporting a lot of MLR gear on his way in today. Freshly out of the packet yesterday.
Good for him. Yeah, Brad's a great referee. I think from New Zealand originally. He's joined on the touch lines with Brett Hay and Nathaniel Height on the far touch line, marking that kick. About 10 minutes left in the half here. The Trans Mountain Pipeline going in just on the side of Burnaby Lake, and the good people at Fortis BC are doing a lot of construction over there. Just behind us, and it looks like the ball went into the pipeline pit. So there you go.
I think we might need to invest in a net over there of some kind.
You know, hopefully it's a one-off. Ideally, the field is fixed up by the next Burnaby Lake home game. Ideally, hoping to God we can get some of the technical difficulties we have encountered trying to live stream out of here today fixed before the next game. And the construction won't be a problem.
Mike, I've quite enjoyed the variety of the Burnaby line-out. Twice they've had a bit of a trick play down the front of the line. And Caps have struggled with it, but they've managed to get the ball back here, turnover. And we got another scrum platform deep inside of Burnaby's half.
Well, good. You know, a lot of people certainly don't like the scrums, and I see where they're coming from in terms of slowing things down, but I'm an old front row guy, and I like a good scrum, and today's scrums have been good. Very even, and I just like a good scrum. It's my version of champagne rugby. Right. Packs are packing down here. Hildebrand and Bardwaj are the props for Burnaby Lake, and Neil Courtney and Jesse Ryan, the veteran, at number 3 for Capilano.
So Mike, look for Franklin to come in off his wing here, maybe insert it into play, carry the ball if we go out the back.
Let's see it. No, they go to number 15, Johnny Adams. There's Maloney to Franklin coming in off the wing. Made the right call a few seconds late. Simon goes really wide to number 4, Reed Tucker. Gets hit, throws the ball back. It's Simon now to, looks like a danger man here, Howard Melundi. He gets brought down by number 11, Ko Odaka.
Yeah, the Burnaby defense looking pretty strong here. Holding out and a good rip and turnover in contact.
Oh, there
Lots
we
of
go.
numbers on their feet. They managed that defensive set really, really well. They'll be happy with that.
Yeah, they caused a turnover. They were looking for maybe one more pass there. Probably didn't want Mike Goff to be the guy with the final ball. Oh, picked up by Howard Melundi, who's got some moves. He's brought down by the captain, Neil McLean. Ball spread really wide now to Maloney. To Johnny Adams. Takes the ball in. Keep moving, Maloney. And, oh, Sam Franklin takes a hard hit and brought out of bounds by Jack Gelbart, the try scorer.
Officials letting that go. I thought that one might have been a little bit high.
It sure looked like it.
But we play on, and Burnaby has survived again.
Maybe he originally hit low and then slid up or something.
Looks like we're going to take a little bit of time out here. Brian Fitzpatrick on the ground looking to receive a little bit of attention to that knee that he's got strapped.
Yes, I'm told he took a bit of a knock in training on Tuesday night to that knee. While we have a moment, I'd like to thank some of our sponsors. First off being Mark-On Homes, the Burnaby Lake Rugby Club's primary sponsor. A new sponsor's come on board, Blind Tiger Dumplings and Laoway, which is a great restaurant and bar down in Chinatown. Recommend you check it out. Oh, yeah. Coast Mountain Roofing, another long-term sponsor of the Burnaby Lake Rugby Club, as well as Mike James from Dominion Lending. Play returns with Burnaby Lake winning the lineout and moving bit by bit in the maul, though the maul's getting a little messy there. Looks like Capilano might have swum through and brought the ball down. Capilano's had the edge in the rucks, and they've got the ball back. Picking and going. Getting pretty close to the Burnaby Lake line. And they're driving. Whoa! Someone just get punched there? Did I see that right? No, penalty for Burnaby Lake.
A little bit of handbags there, Mike. Great turnover at the ruck there. So great win. Burnaby won the line out really, really well.
Turned the ball over. Did not do well at retaining.
Pretty
it.
messy maul, yeah. I'm pretty sure Aaron will be quite disappointed with that. We'll need to tighten that up, especially in this area of the field.
Well, Fitzpatrick, hopefully the knee's not bothering him too much. He'll take the kick here. Gets the ball out of bounds, and did he make it into the construction site? No, he did not. Good for him. That really speeds the game up.
So interesting halftime here, Mike, coming up. I don't know if we'll see any changes right away, but we do have some exciting players on the bench that might be able to liven this thing up, going into the last 30 minutes of the game. But so far, even Stevens.
Yeah, it couldn't be more even. 7-7. I think Burnaby Lake will be ruin the knock-ons in the goal line, and Capilano was held up once, so could just as easily have been 21-14, but it sits at 7-7 currently with not much time left in the half. Apologies to anyone that tuned in at 2:30 to watch this. You could have watched a few minutes of it on the Coastal Cup channel due to a breakdown in communication. There's David Dimbandus in the center, throwing the ball to no one at the back. Not a good pass. Actually, probably would have been a good pass if anybody was there to catch it, but nobody else was aware of what was happening. Burnaby Lake fortunate to get another penalty there rather than a turnover and a try scored on them.
Yeah, got out of jail a little bit there. Another good line out. Good decision to go off the top. But really just putting themselves under pressure here. Pressure on the Caps defense.
Yeah, if he caught that one, that was not a great kick. If he caught that one, they had nothing but space to get a little bit of momentum back, but not to be. Instead, a knock-on and a scrum for Capilano, so they get to retain the ball there. Caps have the backfield split. Maloney and Simon, both as first receivers on either side. Burnaby Lake puts a shove on. Oh.
Well, that'll give them an
Oh,
awful lot of confidence going into halftime.
Oh, Dimbandu picks up.
Can they take advantage
Sandberg.
of the advantage?
Jesus.
Oh!
Sorry, pardon my language to people. Well, that unfortunate. Odaka went up in the air for the ball, and the other fellow didn't see him, and we got a guy down right now. Unfortunate. That's why they call that particular pass a suicide pass. So we get a yellow card for that one, which seems about right. It certainly inadvertent. I don't think he went out to try to do that. Just got under him, unfortunately. Blame the guy who threw him the pass, really. He should get a yellow card, too, for Burnaby Lake. Do they do it? Do they yellow card your own team for making a stupid play? Because they should.
I think that comes in the review on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Schwager is playing advantage for the scrum penalty. We'll also get another penalty at the point of this dangerous tackle. So Burnaby will get the choice. Caps down to 14 players for 10 minutes. The momentum has definitely swung. As long as Burnaby can take advantage of this and maybe put some points on the board before they go back into halftime. If we're close to the halftime whistle, they'll spend at least the first 10 minutes of the second half with a man advantage.
Yeah, I think we got to be pretty darn close to that whistle there. I think let Fitzpatrick or Ethan Turner take a shot at the posts here. Hopefully get a little closer. Yeah, they'll line up for a shot at posts. Brian Fitzpatrick does most of the kicking here for the Burnaby Lake Premier team, although Ethan Turner has done a lot of the kicking against the last game or two. Yeah. So it looks like Turner's lining up for that. I'll tell you, the guy who was laying on the ground a second ago, Ko Odaka, who's played the entire season since the fall in 3rd Division, for me, is also a great kicker, and I've seen him slot from the sidelines at about this distance. So they have another option in there as well if they need a kicker.
Yeah, Mike, this one will change the conversation at halftime. I think if Burnaby go into the sheds at halftime with just a 2-point deficit on the board, I think they'll be feeling a lot more confident. So, bit of pressure here on Ethan Turner.
Yeah, a lot of pressure for the young player. This is his first Premier start for Burnaby Lake here at home. He did start last week against Oak Bay Castaway Wanderers. He's a young player, came up through the Burnaby Lake mini system and juniors before they moved out to Abbotsford, his family, and just returned to the club here in the fall. And puts it just wide, which will end the half at 12-7. As we go into the half, Burnaby Lake unfortunately lost a longtime club member, I know a very good friend of mine, someone who's also very close here to Aaron, a family member of Aaron's, Steve Batty. And Aaron, if you could just take a few moments to talk about the Steve Batty Memorial Fund.
Yeah, absolutely. So after Steve's passing at the end of last year, our family have set up a memorial fund through the Canadian Rugby Foundation. The memorial fund is an endowment fund. It can be contributed to at any time. Anybody that contributes to it is entitled to a tax receipt. And that money will develop over time. The disbursements on an annual basis will be paid out to 2 rugby clubs in BC. One here at Burnaby Lake Rugby Club, where Steve played for, I think it's 15 seasons.
He started actually the same day I did in 2007.
Wow.
So,
and also Steve, where he did his undergraduate degree at the UVic Vikes. So both programs will nominate some candidates towards a sponsorship. And that financial disbursement will be paid out on an annual basis. And it just gives us, as a family, the opportunity to give back to the places that really gave to Steve and were his true happy places. And it just allows us to keep his name and his memory alive. So please, if you knew Steve, or even if you didn't, and you'd like to support both rugby clubs and the Canadian Rugby Foundation, then please donate to the link there on the screen. Yeah, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to bring this up during the stream today.
Not a problem at all. We're happy to do it. Steve was a very, very, very close friend of mine and a great guy, and it's great that there's this foundation and fund set up to carry on his legacy, especially assisting people at Burnaby Lake and UVic, the two clubs and university that he loved and the sport that he loved. So we're going to sign off here for a minute, and we're going to take some words from our sponsors. So we'll be back at the start of the second half.
Now more than ever, it is important to get the viruses out. The CDC recommends using an air purifier to clean the air in your home and at work. This portable air purifier filters air 3 times better than standard HEPA filtration, down to 99.99%. The FDA recognizes it as a Class 2 medical device. We will deliver one to you today. Call now and ask us about our no-interest, easy monthly budget plans. We are a local company in British Columbia. Get the viruses out. Call us today and protect your family and staff. Purchase direct online at filterqueencanada.com. Today only, use promo code VIRUSOUT for 10% off and free shipping to anywhere in Canada.
All right, the second half's about to begin back here at Burnaby Lake. Scores 12-7 in favor of Capilano here as we start. Mike Maloney, the inside center, is getting ready to kick off. No subs that we're made aware of during the half. Doesn't look like there's any new faces out there.
Yeah, shadow's getting long, Mike. I'm not sure if I won the coin toss I'd be playing this way this half, but I'm not from around here, so maybe what do I know?
Well, one thing at Burnaby Lake is that we're charitable, So we'll give people the opportunity. Like that, we just gave them the opportunity to get the ball back. So, I can't say we don't help.
Oh, that'll work out well. Just off the hands of Brian at the back there. It'll be Capilano line out inside the 22. Strong start to the second half with a little bit of luck to help you out.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone better for Capilano, really. They kicked it short. They got their own ball back. Then they kicked it long, and Burnaby Lake knocked it out of bounds, giving them the ball back.
So I think we might see a Capilano maul and drive here, but they've lost the ball.
That tap back by Cooper Johnston. Mike Goff takes it into contact. Lee Sandberg sends it out to Lilit Bardawaj, who gets brought down. Din Bandu and Vicolani over the ball. Sandberg sends it back to Ethan Turner, who kicks it. Nice kick. Good distance on that, right into the hands of Sam Franklin, who's going to turn around and head back. Nice little kick over. That kid's got a great boot, too, actually. I shouldn't call him a kid. I've been watching him for a few years there for Capilano, but great kick on him. So, put it out of bounds by Lee Sandberg. So, it'll be Capilano line out, just outside the Burnaby Lake 10-meter.
Yeah, I think if I was on the Burnaby team, I'd be happy with that result. Line out, opposition ball inside the 22. Net result, push them back about 20 meters down the field.
Yeah, good turn of events for them. So Burnaby Lake line out now. A bit of confusion at the beginning. Ball goes up and tapped backwards by Cooper Johnston. Bad pass off the hands of Dylan Vermette. Knocked forward, unfortunately. I assume the referee saw it. Yeah, it looks like he saw it. No, it looks like he didn't. Well, I sure saw it.
Yeah, playing advantage here. So we've got a knock-on advantage. And it's worth trying to play through here. And here we go. Here goes Fitzpatrick.
Right past Maloney.
Lots of support, inside, outside support here. But he might just go all the way by himself.
Well, he does like that. He is a great runner, a really good kicker, and not a big fan of passing, so that's not unexpected. Great run from Brian Fitzpatrick, number 15.
Yeah, definite assist from the Burnaby pack there. Another turnover at the line-out. Fortunate with a knock-on, advantage to be played, and I think it just gave them the confidence to move the ball and have a go.
Ethan Turner will do the honors here, taking the kick.
And Mike, a try against a run of play.
Now, I thought the original advantage was against Burnaby Lake. I mean, Dylan Vermette, certainly the hooker. It went forward off his hand on that pass to I don't know who. I'm not crazy, am I, Aaron? I am, but in a different way.
So Burnaby taking advantage of the yellow card situation that we still got. Yellow card given before halftime. Capilano winger still in the bin. Maybe that was the reason for the extra space here out on the left-hand touchline.
Could be. That's a nice
Great
strike from Turner. Yeah, split the uprights.
That'll give the young man a bit of confidence going back into
Definitely
a huge momentum swing. Back again, and here we go.
Trainer for Burnaby Lake, Gio Lamb, the head physio, was out attending to someone. No substitution made, so apparently they're okay. This time it's Capilano walking slowly back up to the line. Mike Maloney getting ready to do the honors on the restart. Nice and high. Over, nice take by, I think, is that Johnny Franklin? Apparently
Yeah, we've
Capilano
got Johnny Franklin here. Got off the ground, took the ball, but did lose possession. Slight knock-on, it'll be Burnaby scrum. And that's not a bad result for Burnaby. A lot of pressure on that kick.
Yeah, that was a beauty kick. That was about 11 meters and a mile in the sky. Lots of time for the Capilano forwards to run down and get under that ball, and they had it, but unfortunately came out.
So the last time we had a scrum, we did have that penalty advantage. We did have Caps going back at a rate of knots. Let's see if that was just a one-off, or did Burnaby have the upper hand here in this set-piece platform?
Hildebrand has some concerns about the way Courtney's set up there. Looks like it's a straight swap on the Capilano side. Johnny Franklin for Sam Franklin. So brother for brother. Scrum penalty for Burnaby Lake. Looks like Bardawaj had the best of Jesse Ryan, which is not easy to do. Vicolani gets pushed out of bounds by Glenn McKinnon. So it'll be a Capilano line out, about 8 minutes, 8 yards past the into the Capilano half.
Confidence for sure. Another penalty at the set piece. Chose to go quickly. Didn't maybe get the result, but it could have gone either way. You know, good cover tackle there by Glenn McKinnon coming off the back of that scrum.
Yeah, it was a great tackle. Very fortunate because if he didn't get Vicolani out of bounds, there was not too many people between Vicolani and the try line. So Capilano Mall, which has always been their specialty, never more so than this year, where they've rode that to a lot of wins in the first half in the Lower Mainland First Division and against the Pacific Pride last weekend. But now they're wide and they're flying.
Yeah, I have to say, I worked with Liam Dahl with the Vancouver Wave this past fall. He controls the lineup very, very well. He calls the line out very well, and he shows great confidence in that area. Taking one at the back of the line out completely unopposed, and a great maul platform. Not quite as tight as you'd like.
Liam Dahl, I believe, also along with Neil Courtney, a graduate from the UBC Thunderbirds. Probably played under the current coach Ramses Langston when he was the coach at UBC. Now the coach at Capilano, the Premier Men. Well, Turner kicks the ball straight out of bounds, so it'll be a Capilano line out at the 10-meter line.
Yeah, Mike, it's a game of chess, isn't it, at the moment? It's pretty tight. Both teams making slight mistakes. Both teams letting the other one off the hook a little bit. That kick straight out of bounds, it'll be a line out to Capilano, and maybe the momentum's starting to swing again. Dahl with another take at the back of the line out, but again, quite high in the maul setup. They'd be lucky to get this one back cleanly, but they do. Chris Robinson digging for it at the back of the ruck.
There we go. Oh, pass goes a little over Simon's head, off to Maloney. It's number 13, Eli Pappin, taking the ball into contact. Capilano wins the ruck. Oh, Chris Robinson sees a lack of support there, a lack of pillars around the ruck. Takes off and makes some yards. That's Radzima making a few more. Ooh, nice line there from Johnny Franklin. Eventually gets brought down. That was a nice cover tackle. Ball out wide to the Capilano supporters.
Yeah, Burnaby let off the hook a little bit there. Ruck speed was good. Defense was fractured. They certainly had the upper hand. Johnny Franklin does what he does best. Great line from out to in, putting the defense under pressure. But again, they've thrown the ball into touch and they've let the defense off the hook.
That is not like Chris Robinson. He does not make a ton of mistakes out there. He's not the young guy that he necessarily was, not old by my standards certainly, but rare that he makes that type of mistake, just throwing the ball out of bounds like that. So looks like number 5 for Capilano, Liam Dahl, is receiving some treatment over there near the sideline. So, or possibly just tying a shoe. But we'll have a Burnaby Lake line out here, where they'll be looking for probably Cooper Johnston or James Catterson. Hooker Dylan Vermette gets ready to throw in. They fake to Catterson in the middle, and they go to Catterson at the front, down to Sandberg. Puts a nice pass through to Ethan Turner, and off to David Dinbandu in the centers.
Yeah, Mike, I like that. Simplified things a little bit, so I think that was a 4-man line out. Just to give them a couple of extra options, less defensive bodies to go up against them, and they move them well.
That's another penalty for Capilano at the ruck. They've had unfortunate to have a few of those not rolling away. So that was Sean McCown who took the ball into contact, and Fitzpatrick and Captain Neil McLean caused the penalty there for Capilano.
So it looks like Capilano back up to full strength. I see the player that was Simbin back on the field on the far side there.
That was winger Howard Melunde. Dangerous the one time he got involved in with the ball in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen him with ball in hand. He can move. He's certainly evasive.
Ooh, did not find touch.
And we've been let off the hook again. Burnaby missing touch and allowing Capilano to come back. Johnny Franklin in open field. Always dangerous and good ground gained.
Yeah, Burnaby like charitable hosts. Every time they could cut the throat, they instead give Capilano a chance back at it. So
it looks like we might get it just off his
for
feet.
Sandberg for not not rucking properly.
Okay, well, let's see if Burnaby can weather the storm here. It's certainly under pressure. And they
Turned
turn the
the
ball
ball
over, and we're
over by
going
Jack
back the
Gelbart.
other way.
Maloney chasing him. Oh, Maloney.
Mike Maloney got him by the
shirt
shirt tails.
Hanging on for dear life. Oh, Ethan Turner now. He's getting chased down by Malundy. Is he going to make it?
He's backed himself. He's going for the corner. Can he ride the tackle? Back on his feet. Oh, and he's been penalized here for playing the ball on the ground.
Jeez.
Unlucky Ethan. He did everything right there. Everything about this game tells us that we might be in for a close one as we get through the second half. Because I think Capilano is slowing the game down here a little bit, and I don't blame them.
That's smart rugby. Looks like we've got a substitution there in the Burnaby back line. We have Cole McQueen on at outside center. And Ethan Turner off. So it looks like Neil McLean goes to 10, I believe. He's usually the backup fly half, and it looks like he is. So substitution in, Cole McQueen into outside center, and Neil McLean slots over to fly half. Cole McQueen, another Burnaby Lake veteran, firefighter at the Delta Fire Department. Great mustache, just a firefighter's mustache. One day clean shaven, then he became a firefighter. Next day, giant mustache.
Confident win at the line out by Liam Dole again. The maul is looking a little bit tighter. This one's moving.
That's a great maul.
We've been asked to use it.
Ball's out into the hands of Neil McLean, who's having a great game. Fitzpatrick, someone kind of bumped into him. Oh, kicks the ball right into the hands, though, of Jeremy Simon. Simon gets the ball wide over to Chris Robinson, who's still got some speed. He's brought down. Ball goes to, I believe it's Mackenzie Mills. I didn't see the number, but I believe that is Mackenzie from over the years. Oh, Mike Goff possibly created a turnover, and he does. James Catterson picks up the ball. Out wide to the new guy, Cole McQueen. Pass goes a little errant. That's a word, right? Errant? It is, I believe.
Oh, we're back and forth here, Mike. Burnaby fortunate in the middle of the field to blow up the ruck and get the ball back because not a lot of defenders have folded around that corner on the ruck, and Capilano had numbers up. Unfortunately, couldn't get enough offload to where to get a little bit of separation of space to be able to attack.
Yeah.
And here we are. 2 minutes ago, we had Ethan Turner on the goal line, about to score a try, and now we've got Jeremy Simon looking to put the ball deep inside the 22 at the other end of the field.
Yeah, I think when they watch the film on the first 55 minutes of the game, I think the Burnaby Lake players will be kicking themselves saying, why the heck did we do that? A lot of times. So this is right into Capilano's wheelhouse here. The line out, the maul, that's their specialty.
Haven't really got it going yet, though, have they, Mike? I mean, it's had the shape of a good maul, and it's starting to fall apart. So kudos to Burnaby. They're keeping that maul at bay. Hopefully I haven't cursed them again, holding the microphone in my hand.
Well, if it did, then they were going to mess it up anyway, but they took it. It looks like Jordan Harvey. It was an overthrow, but Jordan Harvey pulled it in at the back. Oh, no, lost it. Sorry, my mistake. I thought Jordan Harvey took that. I should look at the giant monitor in front of us rather than trying to look across the field. 50 yards. My eyes are not what they used to be. But Neil McLean decides to take it himself. He gets a hard hit there from Jason Ritzema. Ball is loose. Looks like Capilano has it. They're going to go wide to number 4, Reed Tucker. Unfortunately, can't bring it in. And it's a knock on. It looks like it'll be a scrum for Burnaby Lake.
Yeah, Capilano got
all over the field there.
Capilano got a little bit fortunate there. About 2-3 plays back, there was some calls for a high tackle. think they're unlucky not to that to be blown up by referee Brad Schwager.
Yeah, we got Reed Tucker down for Capilano, just getting up. We have Sean McCown down, and Jack Gelbart down for Burnaby Lake. So, heck of a collision there a minute ago. We'll see the impact that Mackenzie Mills has here in the scrum. He's a tough scrummager, Capilano veteran, noticeable with the shaved head. He's going to move in a tight head. Looks like they pulled off Jesse Ryan. So Courtney and Mills versus Bardawaj and Hildebrand. All the front rows still in for Burnaby Lake, and Capilano's made one change. So we'll see how he affects the scrum. Certainly seemed like Burnaby Lake was getting the best of it there in the early going.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Neil Courtney go a full 80 minutes today. He's certainly capable of it. He's in great shape.
Yeah, there's a good chance the battle with Hildebrand on that side might go the better part of 80 minutes as well, I think. I don't know if they have any plans on taking Hildebrand out. So, oh, Mills has an impact. He's pushing him over there. Catterson picks up at the back of the ruck. He's a tough guy. Big contact there with Maloney. Sandberg gets the ball out, puts it to Neil McLean, who puts a nice high ball close to the sideline, or touch line. Jeremy Simon takes it on the fly. Nice little up and under, sees a little gap, and bounces into touch.
Yeah, questionable decision from Jeremy Simon there. Had a couple of options available. I'm not sure if that was the best one. Could have potentially put the pressure back on Burnaby by going back to the corner, or run and play a little bit of possession game, but really didn't get the best of either there.
Looks like Andrew Porter's warming up there for Burnaby Lake. Looks like he'll be inserted into the back line, possibly for Sean McCown that was down injured a minute ago.
Another shortened line out here for Burnaby. It's working well. It's getting the job done.
Fitzpatrick puts a high ball deep near the touchline. Bounces right in front of Chris Robinson. He's not able to take it in the air. Being chased down by Gelbart, who misses the ankle tap. But runs right into the hard shoulder of James Catterson. Puts him down.
Some broken field. There's numbers up if they come this way. If they can stay square, they might find some space.
Big hit from Jack Gelbart, former football player at the University of Guelph, I believe. Oh, Vicolani brings down Reed Tucker. Oh, it looks like Burnaby Lake has turned the ball over. Sean McCown takes a hit from Howard Malundi. Sandberg with a box kick and Jack Gelbart chasing. Great kick. Bounces out just inside the Capilano 22, outside of the hands of Jack Gelbart.
Yeah, Burnaby have the advantage of the 2 points here. Smart play, I think. You know, really well communicated. Good pressure on the kick.
Looks like we're going to see Jackie Gotti enter the game along with Andrew Porter. Porter's on for Ko Odaka. So Andrew Porter will go to the far wing for Burnaby Lake. Meanwhile, Jackie Gotti subs off Fuku Vicolani, whose younger brother played in the Arrows game last night, Tuesday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Debut appearance.
That's right. Fuku Vicolani, graduate of Sir Charles Tupper High School there in East Vancouver, a product of Joe Lee's, longtime coach Joe Lee's rugby program.
Oh, Liam Dahl confident again.
Great maul from Capilano. That's what we expect to see from them. Burnaby Lake starting to get involved in it, moving through the middle there. Hildebrand seems like he has a hand on someone.
Yeah, they're certainly getting the better of this maul.
Oh, yeah.
Burnaby want to be very careful they don't give a penalty away here.
Yeah, they've been fortunate not to so far. Capilano doing a great job of just recycling that ball, moving it further and further away. Might be stopped now. Harvey's got a hold of someone there at the back. Oh, there's a penalty there for Capilano.
Yeah, there it is. Like, that's the pressure that the maul will build. Burnaby just couldn't contain it legally.
Yeah.
And this is going to be an easy exit now for Capilano.
Defending mauls is exhausting. Maloney puts the ball into touch just on the Burnaby Lake side of half. Looks like substitution is going to be made. Preston Petrovic entering the game
Now, Mike, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd say Liam Dahl might be the target of this lineup.
Yeah, you could be right. Preston Petrovic has entered the game for Burnaby Lake at hooker, subbing off Dylan Vermette. Oh, nice line-out ball there. Brought down by Liam Dahl. You were right.
Yeah, Burnaby went for the sack early. It didn't work, but they
runs into his own man.
happened to trip over it, and it's blown them all up.
Oh, that's going to be a scrum for Burnaby. They're luckily not to have got the penalty there, as Capilano had run into their own man rather than the Burnaby Lake defender. So the insertion of Mackenzie Mills into the Capilano scrum had a big impact last scrum, so we'll see what happens. See if Bardawaj can hold him off here. Burnaby Lake's added a bit of weight as well with Gotti into the back line. Or the back row, sorry. Scrums one. Din Bandu goes to Sandberg. Goes to McLean. Wide to Jack Gelbart, who's got some pace and some size going through the centers. He's wrapped up by, looks like Maloney and Glenn McKinnon. Capilano counter rucks, and Gelbart did not present the ball. Penalty for Capilano.
Yeah, McKinnon handled that one really well there. As soon as the knees were down of the tackler, he released, he went over the ball, and he's won the penalty. Although it looks like Brad Swalger's changed his call.
Changed his call. Now, I've been coaching rugby a long time, and I consistently say to our guys that referees will never change their call. Is that incorrect? Should my guys be harping and bitching at refs? Aaron, your advice? You're a knowledgeable rugby guy.
No comment.
Because what I hear from watching this game, what I feel is that refs can now change their call. So that instills me with a whole lot of confidence. Ball doesn't find touch, right into the hands of Howard Melendi. Wrestled out of bounds by Andrew Porter. A great tackler. Andrew Porter, not a great suntanner. Translucent skin with red marks all through it, and fiery red hair.
Again, Burnaby off the hook a little bit there. Penalty, kicked a touch, missed touch, and a good tackle to get the ball back.
Yeah,
so
big-time player, Andrew Porter. Genetic mistake, though.
We end up likely where we should have been.
You got Jack Gelbart wide, trying to get the attention of Neil McLean. Thinks he's got some space. I don't know, though. Burnaby Lake have lost their own line out, knocked the ball forward. Big contact there from Jackie Gotti. Lowering your shoulder still does not work against Gotti. He can get lower. So, ball's up wide, overthrow to Chris Robinson. Gelbart versus Melendi. Gelbart and Sean McCown brings him down.
Capilano looking to move the ball right. Yep. Liam Dahl charging down the field.
At number 18, Alex McDonnell.
Yeah, you're right.
So Alex McDonnell with a big run. There's Mike Maloney, who's stepped in at fly half. Has Jeremy Simon been subbed off?
They'll look to come wide again off this ruck by the looks of things.
Oh, Johnny Franklin with the ball, stepping around three tacklers. Ooh, that was a rough one right there. Shoulder right into the knee from Petrovic. Courtney gets the ball out to Jordan Harvey, tackled by Neil McLean.
So Burnaby will want to have lots of bodies on their feet here. Don't give a penalty away. They've still got the 2-point advantage. And make Capilano play. Make them make mistakes, which they seem to be doing quite well at the moment.
Well, both teams know each other very well, and they want to give each other the opportunity to win the game. Liam Dahl driven back by Bardawaj. Johnny Franklin fends off Neil McLean, and he's got some space. One man to beat, and Brian Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick brings him down right at the goal line. Ball's loose. Kicked wide to Robinson, who may have been in front of the ball, but An open play like that. Nobody calls it. Well, good defense there from Brian Fitzpatrick. Capilano trying to pick and go into Mackenzie Mills. Brought down by Andrew Porter. Burnaby Lake counter-rucking.
Want to hold this up over the line if they get there.
Hildebrand and Catterson. Oh. Another pick and go. This time coming right, and it went nice and low. That's the way you want to do it, kids, if you're watching.
Referee Brad Schwalger playing advantage for offside here. Hands out.
Ooh, they got to be getting close to the line there. Stop cold on that one. There's a lot of good phases here from Capilano. Out to Johnny Franklin, wrapped up by Din Bandu. Gets the ball loose to Maloney. Over to Simon, who is still in the game. Apologies. And Chris Robinson takes it in and puts it down right in front of the scoreboard. That's going to make the game 17-14 in Capilano's favor.
Yeah, consistent pressure. Johnny Franklin's done really well there. You know, they've slowed the game down. They've played the power game. And then Johnny Franklin's run a straight line through the middle of the field and managed to get the ball away. Great continuity in the tackle. Managed to get it out the back and confuse the Burnaby defense enough to create space out wide to score the try.
Maloney will get the honors here. Should be pretty easy kick for him.
So, Mike, you'd say the pressure is on now. So, Capilano with a good victory in the first round of the competition. Burnaby with a tough away game in Oak Bay. And we'll see now what can Burnaby do to come back. So the pressure is on. They're behind on the scoreboard. Home game. They won't want to go into week 3 of this competition having lost the first 2 games.
No, you don't, especially in a close one like this to a rival. Capilano, I believe, geographically the closest premier club here to Burnaby Lake, just across the Second Narrows Bridge. So Maloney lines up for the kick here, which I would assume he'll make easily, and put them up 19-14. Yep, right through the uprights. So Capilano leads 19-14. Burnaby Lake down by 5. Should be about 15 minutes to go. Burnaby Lake sets up for the restart here.
Okay, so Mike Maloney again, not the best strike in the world, but we're out.
And we got a sub for Capilano. We're looking through our roster, trying to figure out who it was. So Preston Petrovich will have his first chance at a line out.
Yeah, Burnaby back in the driving seat. Looks like a 5-man line out.
Catterson knocks it into Sandberg's hands.
Whoa!
Ooh, a dangerous pass, but it hits. It's always nice when it hits. Sean McCown, Andrew Porter, trying to link up in the centers. They played a lot of first division together over the years. Now into the Premier game. Sandberg hits Goff. Takes a hard hit from number 6, Corey Hamill. Draws in some defenders. Oh, McKinnon.
Looking for a choke tackle here, Mike.
Ball's
off the ground.
Yeah, Burnaby Lake may have given this one back to Capilano. Looks like they have. Chris Robinson's running in there to get rid of that ball.
Yeah, that's a quality turnover for Caps. They'll be happy with that.
I would think so.
Puts them back now in the driver's seat and potentially the ability to drive the ball down the field, get some territory advantage, going into the closing stages of this game with them now up the numerical advantage on the scoreboard.
Great battle in the scrums thus far. Capilano is a new front row in. Looks like he's in at hooker, which I believe on the rosters their backup hooker was Jason DeFritas, though I don't believe that's him. I could be wrong. Apologies to Jason DeFritas. But I don't believe that's him, though he is listed on our roster. Oh, Burnaby Lake gets the early shove on there. That is, no, okay, ball out. Wow, great work by Glenn McKinnon. Not a lot of 8 men in BC would have been able to get that ball out, but Glenn McKinnon is that guy. Right now, he is the one you want at the back of that scrum. Burnaby Lake up hard on defense. Oh, Jack Gelbart knocks the ball free right into his own hands. I would have thought a knock on. Yes, it is. Okay, Brad Schwager's got it. And we'll see another scrum for Capilano. Hopefully Burnaby Lake can put that big push on like they did a moment ago and maybe turn that into something. But it's a great game. You know that, Aaron? Not from like a mistake point of view. There's been tons of them and crazy. But as far as competitiveness and excitement, don't you believe so?
Yeah, listen, Mike, this game is definitely still in the balance. There's no clear favorite here just yet. We've seen a lot of changes on the field, a lot of fresh faces, and a lot of people playing in the position they didn't start the game. And looking at the Capilano back line, we've got people, we've got Mike Maloney now standing at 10. We've got Jeremy Simon at fullback, so they've switched. We've got Johnny Franklin in the game. So we'll see. The consistency isn't there, and maybe that's why we're having a bit of a stop-start game here. But I do really think that something big is about to happen.
There's a scrum penalty.
Maybe that's it. Maybe this is going to be it.
Well, the scrum has been worked on a lot. Anthony Luca, former Canadian international, former Burnaby Lake Premier captain, has been out quite a bit working with the scrummagers here the last week or so, putting in a lot of time doing that. And it's paying off with Hildebrand and Bardawaj exerting some dominance there. Yeah,
look, this is a big kick. So if Burnaby can get close here, which I think they have, this shortened line-out seems to be working. It's a 4-5-man line-out to ensure that they get possession of the ball and then just chip away, make sure they get over the try line. So they certainly have the ascendancy here in the set piece. They've won a couple of scrum penalties. They seem to be winning their own ball at the line-out, so this could be game on here.
Solid game from both forward packs. Most of the Burnaby Lake tight five from the initial kickoff still in with Cooper Johnston and Mike Goff. Boosting Mike Goff. That is not what I would have done there.
Yeah, look, Mike, I've never been in a line-out in my life, but they went for a full-man line-out, and I'm not sure if I would have called that. It seems to be gone well.
Well, sometimes the line-out's not the thing, but James Catterson and Cooper Johnson, both over 6'4" and fairly lean. And then there's Mike Goff, and they boosted him. So they might have actually had Catterson and Cooper boosting Mike Goff, which that's not how I would have drawn that up.
Well, the good news is they're going to get another go at it here. Again, Mike Maloney hasn't got the best connection on the ball out of hand. Net gain of about maybe 5 meters down the field, but here we go again. Burnaby's still in the driver's seat, and this time they've gone to a 5-man line-out. Maybe they heard me.
Well, maybe they'll boost one of the tall, lean fellas. No, trick play to the front to Johnson, and not straight, I'm assuming. Or is it? Well, that is 2 straight Burnaby Lake lineouts of their own that they chose not to do anything with.
Yeah,
not great.
Coach Aaron O'Faraday is walking towards us here, and although he's wearing a mask today, I'm pretty sure he's not smiling underneath it.
Well, I do think Burnaby Lake certainly needs to examine their own lineouts. Two lineouts inside the opposition end, game running out of time, and you botch both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Caps throwing in. Now, again, if you're a betting man, Liam Dole's probably going to be somewhere near it, and there he is. Yep. Unopposed again at the back. And they seem to be building this maul. Ball squirting around a little bit at the back. Might give Burnaby the opportunity to get some hands on it.
Capilano tidies that one up, and they're driving. Burnaby Lake is putting up some good opposition. They are making some yards, but they're hard yards. Ball's out now. Robinson goes to the back line. Maloney puts the ball nice and high and deep. Boy, that's a great kick. Back to Gelbart. He's going to go for a run and then a kick. Decent kick, though. I would have thought Fitzpatrick, who was next to him, probably had the better kick. Probably should have passed to him. Well, game of ping pong back in Neil McLean's hand, who smartly goes to Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Burnaby certainly won the kicking battle there. Jeremy Simon again.
Gotti puts the ball over to Din Bandu. He's got Johnson out wide. Back to Hildebrand, the former Houston Sabercat. Gets wrapped up by McKinnon. Burnaby Lake wins the ball. Sandberg finds Catterson, former Queen's University of Belfast player. Driven back hard.
Hey, Mike, I was going to say Jeremy Simon there, just popping a kick up into the middle of the field. Good counterattack ball. We've got another turnover.
Yeah, another knock on. Gotti's on the ground. You don't see that very often. Oh, he's back up.
Yeah, a lot of play in this middle third of the field here, Mike. And I'm wondering, just getting deep into the game with such a tight scoreline, you know, winning this game with the boring perspective of just playing the territory game might be the best way to get it done.
Yeah. We got a Capilano sub right now. That's actually Jason DeFreitas. Jason DeFreitas. I don't know why I can't say his name. Coming on, and the other guy's coming off. We're told 6 minutes left in the game here. We're going to have a scrum just inside the Burnaby end. I believe it will be a Capilano put in.
So the good news is, if you're a Burnaby fan, that the scrum seems to be going consistently well. This might be the opportunity to get a turnover and play the other way.
Yeah, this is their best advantage here is the scrum. Certainly not the lineouts, that's for darn sure. Oh yeah, Jordan Harvey at hooker. That's interesting. Maybe something must have happened with DeFreitas in training or the game last night to his neck. He's usually the Capilano starting hooker, the fellow lining up at the blindside flanker, number 21.
Yeah, talking with Johnny Franklin at training a couple of weeks ago, he's told me that DeFreitas is the best kept secret in the league. You know, his line-out throw is accurate consistently, and it allows that Capilano line-out to dominate week on week.
Ooh, I think Capilano's lucky to get away with out a penalty there, as Courtney had gone down to his knees as soon as the ball went in. So Schwager had moved around to the other side, didn't see it. Capilano took the ball out of bounds, and I will say DeFreitas is not as big a secret as Johnny Franklin thinks he is. I think he's rated pretty highly, and Burnaby Lake, he's been throwing lineouts against them here for a long time, and he's known. He's very well known.
Well, we're still playing in this middle third of the field. We're still having a set-piece game. It's back and forth. Again, you know, it really is just who's going to break first here, who's going to make the biggest mistake that's going to break open this game and give the winning opportunity to one of these two teams. But it's still close. It could go either way.
Yeah. Another spare made with Jack Gelbart coming out and Blake Steele going on. It's like an offside penalty.
It would appear so. I mean, we've certainly slowed this game down.
Yeah. Brian Fitzpatrick tried to find touch, and I mean, geez, their own lineout has been Burnaby's Achilles heel. I don't know the stats in front of me here, but they may have won as many Capilano lineouts as they did of their own.
Yeah, talking to stats, Mike, I think the ball in play time for this game will be particularly low. I think we'll be in the 20-minute range for sure for this game. You know, we got lots of subs on the field, lots of fresh legs, so, you know, we're still in for an interesting finish to this game.
Ball kicked into the pipeline construction site. Bit of a break, give everybody a breather. TV timeout. So only a few minutes left. Capilano up 19-14. The first division game at 12:45 was won by Capilano in the last few minutes. So Capilano will be looking for the sweep here today. Botched pass. Went backwards though. Burnaby Lake fortunate there. Sean McCown scoops it up. Burnaby Lake going to go to their forwards. They go to Preston Petrovich, the smallest forward. Ball now to McLean. I think Burnaby Lake's in a spot where they've got to keep the ball in hand. Kicking for territory is not going to do it for them, but running the little guys into the big guys isn't going to work for you. So Burnaby Lake's going to try to push it and try to get that ball out. But Capilano's got a pretty good grip on it. Yeah,
they're playing a dangerous game. Again, I've said it twice now, Mike. Playing in the middle third of this field is not going to do Burnaby any good right now. And I'm not sure if they got the quite the right outlook on the game. I do feel this left-hand corner might be the ideal space to go to, just to put Capilano under pressure.
Yeah. Oh, I do agree with you.
You know, we've seen Malundi. You know, he's a live wire with the ball in his hands, but I would question what is he like turning around and chasing a bouncing ball. And I wonder if is he the person that they're going to pick out to put pressure on. We won't know. It's a cap scrum. And the same principle applies for them. Again, we're in this middle third. How do they close out this game just to make sure that they come away from here today with 3 points?
Big push from Burnaby Lake. They're trying to get that ball out. Oh, Burnaby Lake might have it, or to McKinnon. No. There we go. Burnaby earns a
possession
penalty
again.
Well, big push. Bardawaj proven his worth there at Loosehead, and Nick Hildebrand, we know, is a tough customer at Tighthead. Second rows for Burnaby Lake, also big pushers. Mike Goff's a great scrummaging second row, and Cooper Johnson, a young fellow who's coming along. His father, Trevor Johnson, played a lot of rugby for the Vancouver Trojans, one of the two founding clubs that merged to become Burnaby Lake, as well as longtime coach and possible president of the Kamloops Rugby Club. So Cooper's finally made the jump up to Premier after going through the U19 program and 3rd Division, 1st Division, and now into Premier. He's a big guy and a good scrummager. So Burnaby Lake lineup. We'll see what happens here. What do you think?
Well, I think they're going to have to throw caution to the wind here and go for it. 3 points isn't enough, so they're going to have to break Capilano down somehow.
Yeah, they need a score under the posts. Well, they've got some guys in the back line to do it. In addition to the regular backs, they got Jackie Guddy and David Dinbandu back there, both of whom have a ton of experience in the centers at the Premier level. So they give it to Guddy first, who's a hard runner. He gets brought down by Maloney and Jordan Harvey. Sean McCown goes wide to Fitzpatrick, who's got some space. He's attacking that corner. You got Blake Steele and Fitzpatrick going for the ball.
Bouncing ball behind Malundi. What's he going to do?
Oh, bounces out. DeFritas jumps on it. Is that they can call that a knock-on? Yeah, knock-on. Capilano will get a scrum here. So scrum at about their own 5, which really, I mean, as far as Burnaby Lake's concerned, that's not bad. I mean, they pulled a few scrum penalties the last few minutes.
Yeah, and exactly like I said 2 minutes ago, Mike, Burnaby have to play this territory game. They have to put the ball in behind. And they played wide. They brought the winger up out of the backfield. They put the ball in behind and just accumulated a ton of pressure. So if you're Burnaby now, you certainly feel like you're in the driving seat. You've had the pressure at the scrum.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 last scrums that were done ended up as penalties for Burnaby. So they're looking for a big push over here, get the ball, maybe keep it in at the back if possible, and ride it in for a try.
Yeah, worst case scenario is here that you put a ton of pressure on Mike Maloney's right foot and try and get the ball back through a poor kick or even a charge down.
Yeah, there's the big push.
And they've won the ball.
And they've won the ball. There's Sandberg going blind all by himself. Capilano over the ball.
Yeah, Maloney's made a great decision to come in and make that tackle there.
Yeah, great play. He's a good player. Again, he'll get a lot of flack for that yellow card, and rightfully so, but it was unlucky. It certainly wasn't what he was intending when he went for that ball. Some pick and goes. If I was Burnaby Lake, I would certainly keep it in there and just keep driving. They got Bardawaj, they got Goff, they got Catterson, all big bodies.
Yeah, Neil Courtney trying to roll away and get out of that ruck.
Oh, it looks like try scored. The try scored by James Catterson, number 7. Yeah, James Catterson with a final pick and go. There we go. We see Catterson pick it up. He's got Dinbandu behind him and drives it right in for the try. Now they're wide, so the game is tied 19-19. Their normal kicker, Ethan Turner, is off. They do have Brian Fitzpatrick that kicked a lot for both Burnaby Lake and their Coastal Cup team, Van East, which definitely was not Burnaby Lake.
Yeah, Brian's got that ball tucked firmly underneath his arm. He looks pretty confident.
You like that, did you?
Difficult kick for the left footer here. Kicking into the sun as it sets here at Burnaby Lake.
That's right, the lefty. He's got the left leg all bandaged up. He was limping on it a moment ago. So tough kick. If he makes it, he's the hero. And he would like that. Looks like this might be game if hit or not.
It does. It looks like Burnaby are not setting up for a restart. So if this goes over.
He hits it.
Clutch kick at the end.
Wow, that is drama right there. Brian Fitzpatrick.
Take a bow.
21-19, and I believe that is your final. Well, Capilano was unfortunate there to not hold out the win. They played some pretty good rugby, though Burnaby Lake was unfortunate to be down going into the final whistle. Both teams had flashes of brilliance, Aaron, and I also thought both teams will kick scored traditionally. Scored spelled S-C-O-R-E-D. But,
yeah, look, let's give it some context. This is round number 2 of a competition that has been gone for a long, long time with COVID. You know, we're back. Players are still getting the feel of the field. They're still getting used to the bumps and bruises. But what a game. We knew that was going to be tight. We've been saying it for a while here. We knew something big was going to swing it either way. And what about that kick from Brian Fitzpatrick?
You know what?
Take it at the end.
He'll be talking about that every chance, I'll tell you. No, it's a great kick. Great game by both guys. Let me ask you, Aaron, looking at Capilano, who are your players of the match, forward and backs?
Oh, that's a great question. I thought Chris Robinson played really, really well today.
I would agree.
So I think he had a hand in a couple of things. And as a forward, I think Glenn McKinnon, you know, that first try, I think he's good. His experience. There's a cover tackled here in the second half, and I think I've got to give it to the old head there.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you. And the number of times over the years where I would have said that Capilano's man of the match were Chris Robinson and Glenn McKinnon, I can't even count on two hands probably.
I've got to give a huge shout out to Liam Dahl and his line out today. I think he's probably won about 15 of them by himself.
Yeah, he was certainly their go-to man for that. Glenn McKinnon, for me, really stood out, not just the cover tackle right here in front of us, but his ability to get the ball out of some of those scrums that were pretty messy. Very few other 8-man have that skill, and Glenn McKinnon certainly does. What about for Burnaby Lake, Aaron? Who do you have your forward of the match or your back of the match?
Oh, I'm going to defer. I'm going to throw that one back to you. What do you think?
Fair enough. Well, back of the match, I would have said Neil McLean right up to when Brian Fitzpatrick kicked that. Tough to go against that. The kick from the sideline or near the sideline at the whistle. You know, he had a great game before that. Same with Jack Gelbart, had some flashes of brilliance. Neil McLean was just steady the whole way through. For me, forward of the match for Burnaby Lake would have had to been, I believe, I was thinking Nick Hildebrand the whole game for the scrummaging, just a safe, solid guy. At no point did we ever say, you know, wow, Hildebrand dropped the ball there, did whatever. But I think I have to go with James Catterson. Made some timely tackles there in the final quarter of the game. Some good runs with the ball. He's a safe and steady line-out guy. Arguably, you know, the guy I think most people at Burnaby Lake in the forwards would look to and say probably the best player prior to the game, and I think he showed that in the second half here. So for me at Burnaby Lake, players of the match would have been James Catterson and Brian Fitzpatrick.
Excellent. Yeah, special shout-outs. I think just consistency, nothing flash, but Sandberg and Turner, young players at this level, and I think, you know, give them a little bit of shout-out. I do think that they controlled the game reasonably well.
Of the Stephen Batty Memorial Fund, which you can donate to by going to the Canadian Rugby Foundation's website at canadianrugbyfoundation.ca. The full website's there, index.php/Stephen-Batty-Memorial Fund. Though I assume if you like Google Canadian Rugby Foundation Steve Batty Memorial Fund, you can probably take you to that website.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a web page there announcing the start of the fund. So please donate. Please remember Steve. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Burnaby Lake, for the opportunity today to do that.
Well, thank you, Aaron. It's a pleasure to have you on here. I enjoy spending time with you, and it's great to have someone with your rugby IQ and someone who knows both teams, having spent a bit of time with Capilano and some of their guys, and certainly been around Burnaby Lake a bit. So it's great having you on there. We're going to sign off. I believe the next Burnaby Lake game is coming up here at home in March 12th, I think. where they face the Marilomas. So we'll see you then. Thanks a lot, Aaron. Hope you join us again.
Thanks, Mike. Pleasure.
Yeah.